Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about high-end play rewards and solo play rewards. These are things that dedicated high-level players think should be implemented into the game. I've had a conversation with a good number of them to try and really kind of get everybody's thoughts on what DEVOUR could do a little bit more to incentivize people to keep playing at high levels once they are reaching the max cult levels and stuff like that, or really pushing the bounds of the average level, which is around 10 it seems. So I'm gonna go through a few ideas that I've gotten from high level players. These are ideas that most high level players on average think should be implemented into the game, and then I have some visuals that I can go through and show you that I think should be into the game, but we'll see. So the first thing that high-level players think should be implemented is increased XP for solo players. Now, one of the reasons that they think this is because solo play is infinitely more challenging than group play, and that solo players, they're pushing the boundaries of what you can do in DEVOUR, but they're doing so at a detriment. They're doing it at the detriment of having not as much XP rolling in, and they're doing it at the detriment of their cult level. So it's like, this person is clearly very talented, they have this many hours in the game, but they're lagging behind in cult levels because they're not doing things with a group, so they can't really farm XP as efficiently as if they had been with a group. I've seen a pretty solid consensus that if you're doing something solo, you should be able to earn a little bit more XP, especially if you're doing solo nightmare or something like that. The rewards should give everything you do in the game should give you more XP to kind of compensate for not being in a 4-man group. That being said, there's a pretty solid idea that it should give you kind of the same amount of experience or something like that for 2 or 3 players instead of 4, because you're not going to succeed every single time in a solo run. It's actually very, very difficult to succeed on the regular in solo. But maybe I think the consensus was something like a 40% or 50% XP buff to solo play would help to incentivize players to try the more difficult stuff on their own, and it would reward the people who kind of push the envelope of what's possible in DEVOUR. After that, we have people who think high-level players, especially for this is kind of like an idea for solo nightmare, is that group players get cosmetics and rewards based on group play, but solo players are just kind of left out. And while DEVOUR is primarily a co-op game, you do have achievements for solo play, but these achievements come with really nothing other than the achievement itself. Now, I have commissioned a few ideas for these, and this is at least the bare minimum that people think should be in the game, is a cosmetic reward for getting these solo nightmare achievements for each map. So this first one right here looks pretty awesome, at least in my opinion. I've dubbed it Azazel's Rising since it's the very first map for the farmhouse. This right here has a whole bunch of different stuff, like the hay that you gather. It's kind of like a shawl on the back. There's a giant goat mask covered up by a hood. You have the long interaction symbol right here on the neck. It should kind of glow. It's held on by viney thorns, like the roses that you have to find on the map. You have the keys wrapped around the arms. They're also held on by rose thorns and everything. The bottom half of the robe actually is based off of the floor in the farmhouse. You can go to the kitchen, kind of see this kind of tile floor. That's the pattern it's based off of. It's also in the entryway room right when you walk in, I believe. You also have the cult Azazel symbol on the chest. It should glow. And right at the bottom, if you notice, there's a bunch of rose petals. I think when you run around in this cosmetic, you would have like the rose petals from the roses that you found, like kind of like following you in a line. It's a very epic looking cosmetic for a very challenging achievement. You know, it's a reward on par with the achievement itself. After that, we have this one right here. This one's actually pretty awesome, I think, as well. I'm calling this one the shocking revelation for the asylum. You have the rat skull mask. Obviously, you're killing the rats and stuff like that. You have sort of like a what is it called? Like on the chest right here, you can see like under the robe, you have like the striped inmate shirt, and then you have you would have what is it, the the fuses kind of like strapped to the back, and they would go and wires wrap around the arm, and you'd have like little light bulbs that are connected with lightning and stuff like that, little flicks of lightning every now and again. And then you have the like little rat skeletons sewed onto the little cloth that hangs down, and you can see at the foot of this one you have rats and stuff like that, a little horde of rats. Like as you would run around in this outfit after getting the solo nightmare achievement for the asylum, the rats would like follow you around. Just kind of like a cool little thing. For the inn, we have a much more simplistic, like focused design, which I kind of think represents the inn really well. I call it patience is virtue, because you really do need patience when it comes to the inn. The lower half of the robe reflects like the onsen cloth with the onsen symbol on it. The top half of the robe, they're green to kind of reflect the color of the eggs, and splattered with patches like darker green and yellow in order to kind of like remind the player of like the vomit and stuff like that they had to go through when it comes to what am I trying to think of? Zara. The back would have the goat symbol on this one, and the face is actually covered up by the humanoid spider skull that you can find on the front of the shrines, and you have like the spider legs from the skull sticking out of the masks. What you can't see depicted right now is like, instead of spiders crawling around with you on this with this skin, the spiders would actually like kind of like crawl around the player. They duck in and out of bits of the robe and stuff like that. I think it would be kind of like a really cool, simplistic outfit. Last but not least is this one. We have what I'm calling the Showdown of Knowledge. It's kind of reflects the rough and tumble aspect of the map. Classic Western cowboy style design, reminiscent of the town itself and reminiscent of Sam. You have the pouches and the weapons strapped to the outfit. You obviously wouldn't be holding the pistol, but it's just kind of there. You have the goat symbol glowing on the shirt just under the poncho right there. The poncho would kind of like flow in the wind and kind of like fade away, sort of like the spirits do. Just to kind of like, give the hint that, it might be ethereal. The outfit itself might be more ethereal in nature. You have the wide-brimmed like cowboy hat with a ragged like hood under it, and it's just like a human skull mask, kind of reflect the spirits again. I think these are the kind of designs that people would like to see for epic looking robes or epic looking cosmetics to get rewarded for what I'm trying to think of, to get rewarded for solo nightmare play or high level play. I think this should be something, and the devs have said that they do want to kind of consider this. It's something that they want to reward players with. Devs, if you want these, in fact, I'll just go ahead and send them to Hannah after I load up this video. I'll just be like, you'll see. You'll see. Don't worry about it. They're cool. They're cool designs. You can take them and use them if you want to. Play around with them if you want to. You're more than welcome to use them if you want. But these are kind of ideas that people I've shown one of them on my stream. Kind of be like, hey, here's something coming up. But these are ideas that I think, these are the kind of level of cosmetics that people should get for, solo Nightmare runs or something like that. One other thing for high level play is that the high level players in the end will have something like 666 ritual tokens. Now, assuming right now it takes about 50 something tokens to unlock what am I thinking? To unlock, all the perks and all the flashlights and everything else, that still leaves you with close to almost 600 ritual tokens. If we're waiting for maps to come out with like 2 or 3 perks each, that's still around 20 something maps. So high level players have nothing to spend their ritual tokens on. You can go and look at my video of the idea for equipment in Devour that they could spend their ritual tokens on. But another thing that I thought of was that players could have their player cult rank, and then each individual character could also earn the same cult ranks, while you wouldn't earn tokens from the character, getting cult ranks, only your personal cult rank, your player cult rank. What you could do was unlock, spend like 20 to, it depends on how powerful you want these to be, but 20 to 50 ritual tokens on passive abilities for a character, so that once that character reaches, like, say, level 50, you finally unlock their lowest passive ability. And, spitballing, Ana Puerta, the cult leader, would have something like, it's no range. Everybody has a passive 1% boost to increase, speed and interactions. So while that's not a huge buff for 50 tokens every 100 levels, because remember, it's level 666 is the max. Every 100 levels, that increase would go up, like, say, 1 or 2% to the point where it's maybe 10% at 666. So what isn't a huge thing does give does give people something to work for as they keep playing. I've got Ana up to like level 300. She's got her passive ability up to like 5% or 6% right now. I'm going to start working on Nathan so I can get his passive ability up, because I kind of like his passive ability just in these situations. It gives people something to work and strive for. But high-level players do need things to spend their ritual tokens on, because right now high-level players have really nothing to spend their tokens on, and they're just sitting at hundreds, and they have really nothing to do. So giving high-level players something to do, giving your your dedicated player base something to do, and spend those tokens on, is kind of important. I'm not saying that the devs don't want to. In fact, the devs have said that they want to be able to give players more to do. Obviously, they want to do that because they're making a video game, they're making a game that everybody loves, and people are chomping at the bit to get into the slaughterhouse. But I think for their high-level players, their max-ranked players, which there's only a handful right now, but there are plenty of people that I know of that are working towards that high-level goal. I'm one of them. I'm level 78 right now, I think. But most of my time is spent in solo mode, so, my hours don't reflect my levels because you don't get as much XP. But, something like that where you could have constant progression and that would be on its own side grind. These are just some small ideas. Other ideas that other players have mentioned when I said, like, nightmare modes and stuff like that, what you get for pushing the boundaries of Devour. Some people have suggested a solo nightmare achievement would unlock a perk that you could purchase with ritual tokens that is slightly more powerful than your average perk, because it came from something that took a lot more effort. So, like, the town, the asylum, the farmhouse, the inn, they would all have their own unique perk that was only even unlockable. You could only see it if you got a solo nightmare achievement, which I think is also a good way to reward solo nightmare players, solo players and high level players as well, and incentivize other people, incentivize other players to, really kind of dedicate themselves to the game and try and unlock this, really awesome perk. That's about it. There's plenty of things I'm betting that you could do to reward high level players, but these are the ideas that I've kind of gotten from other high level players who would like to see a little bit more incentive to play the way that they do. So overall, we have awesome cosmetic rewards for high level play. Maybe the passive abilities for characters that are unlocked over time that they can kind of push themselves to, so that as they play the game in between maps, because there's a solid, pretty hardcore community that plays the game nonstop, even through the launch of one map to the launch of the next map. It gives them something to do to progress. They can progress the characters, if not their personal levels, unlocking cool perks and stuff like that for high level play. These are just some small things that can be added to the game. I'm sure, not immediately. I know there's dev time. I know there's work that needs to be done and stuff like that. It's not just say it and it makes it happen. But, these are things that high level players would like to see in the game, just to kind of show that they're being acknowledged and that their efforts and that their dedication to the game is also not just appreciated, but encouraged. So if you guys like these ideas, let me know down in the comments. If you want to spitfire some ideas in the stream, I always stream usually Monday through Thursday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. It's almost always Devour right now, because Hogwarts Legacy did just come out, so I played a little bit of that, and I'll probably play like 1 day a week until we beat the campaign. But let me know down in the comments if you have any other ideas, if you like some of the ideas, if you don't like some of these ideas. I always like to, kind of create a dialogue. I'm always trying to learn more about what the community wants and what the community would like to see, so I can maybe, put them together in videos like this, and, maybe the devs watch and, take this stuff into consideration. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for listening. Hope you all have a great day. And as always, stay positive.